well. This looks like it might have been the old well. Oh, definitely. There's still moisture in the bottom of it. In fact, there's frogs in the bottom of it, crabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's the collective noun for frogs? So this is Lake Hillier, the famous pink lake on Middle Island. Doesn't look the same as what it looks from the air. You can still see the pink colour. It was named after William Hillier. Matthew Flinders named it in his honour because William Hillier was one of his crewmen on his boat, and he died probably a day after he left Middle Island of dysentery. So this was named in his honour. And this is the spectacular bubblegum pink lake, which looks a lot better from the air, a lot more distinctive, but still beautiful. It's a very fragile environment, which is why you've got these bollards here. People want to go stand in it and get their photo taken, but you just need to view it from a distance. I'm pretty sure it's food colouring. No, it's a mixture of the algae that's in the water and a halobacteria, I think. So this is a terminal lake in that all the water that drains into the lake doesn't drain out to the ocean. So all the salts which are accumulated when the water runs off the land end up being deposited in the lake. So it's a hypersaline lake, equivalent salinity to the Dead Sea. And that combined with the algae and the bacteria which like the hypersaline conditions, and they've both got a pink pigment in them. So that's why you get that beautiful pink colour. It's hard to imagine unless you actually hear it. You'd think a lot of the shots of this place are actually photoshopped, but it's a genuine colour. This is the wreck of the Penguin. Apparently it's been here for about 100 years. One of the couple of boats which has come aground on the couple of sort of little outer reefs here, slowly wasting away. All right, trying to make our way to the east coast of the island, looking for the path of least resistance. Often there is none, so you just gotta keep trekking. Just keep swimming, Dory. A bit of hard yakka pushing through the bush. Got a little bit of claret for my effort for the day. We're coming out to a bit of open granite though, so nearly there. It's also now a refuge for declared rare marsupials like the Gilbert's Potteroo, which up until 1994 was thought to be extinct, and then they discovered it and they put a couple of insurance populations on outer islands around Albany and out here. It's a predator-free environment. It's big enough that, and it's got the food sources they require, so Gilbert's Potteroo's out here now. So by my reckoning, we go down to that limestone cliff there and then we cut back that way.
What's the map say?
Oh! So I believe we're about here. We need to go down to here, which is there, and then cut straight across that bit there. Straight towards the X. This is the Melaleuca globifera. Because it's constantly exposed to strong sea winds, it's just growing flat. So I don't know how old it is. And if it was standing tall, it'd be about 10 metres tall. It goes all the way back here. It's an awesome old tree. You talk about resilience, growing in one of the harshest environments, and that's what it's done. There's a rocky shore here just full of driftwood. Obviously, the surf batters in here on a big swell and deposits whatever's floating in the ocean. Good cricket bat, that one. Oh, here we go. So if the chopper doesn't come back down, I figure we can build a raft. There's a big whalebone up here too. Looks like it might have been maybe part of the skull or a hip, I don't know. It's massive though. Wilson? I don't think it's Wilson. It's got something in it, I wonder if it's rum. So we've come across this blowout, sort of sand blowout, and And it's just all covered in these, I presume they're fossilised tree roots. You see some of the shapes and structures amongst them, and it definitely looks like tree roots, and they're just been all covered in calcium. They're still hollow in the middle. Looks pretty cool. This beach looks like it's been trafficked by hundreds of people, but it's actually wallaby footprints. So on these islands, on this island, there's Tamar wallabies. It's quite possible that all those tracks here are because the wallabies come down to the rock pools and have a drink of salt water, and probably even fossick on the odd dead crab or something like that for a bit of extra protein too. Literally thousands of footprints all over the beach from wallabies. This pool obviously gets either salt spray or water up in here, and it's got nowhere to go, so it evaporates away, so it's just ended up with this massive big salty pan here. Just need some fish and chips. You can call that Himalayan rock salt, and people will pay $5 a kilo for it. It's so crusty. I've been told that a guy left his 2 teenage sons here for a couple of years to mine salt and came back a couple of years later and checked on them. So I guess any kids which are complaining about chores, that'll teach you resilience. Come and mine salt on an island for 2 years. I'll be back to visit you soon. There he is. So these guys are venomous, but not very venomous. Sort of equivalent to a wasp or a bee sting, something like that. As I said before, if you treat snakes gently though, they've got no reason to bite you. These guys can be a bit stroppy sometimes. Been bitten by them before. Yeah, this is the only species of snake on Middle Island. So a cool little find. He's just hanging out in the limestone here. He's quite relaxed. The only thing he's dangerous to is small frogs, geckos, small skinks. If you're coming to places like this, just treat it with respect and look after it, and it'll be there for years to come for all our kids and grandkids to enjoy. A place like this, it's spectacularly beautiful, and it's a real privilege to come here. It looks a little bit sketchy. We're getting close, sweetheart. Just gotta check the bearings. Yep, we're good. We're nearly there. As far as I can tell, the history of Blackjack, there's not a lot written. He came to Australia in about 1826, and I think he was probably dead by about 1842. He was killed by his crew in an act of mutiny, shot in his tent. Well, according to our map, we're in this bay. There's the big long headland. We're down on the limestone cliffs. There's a number of caves here. There's one just up ahead. I guess the only way we'll know is to go and look in it and I guess look for treasure. That's the only way you'll know if it's a pirate's cave, if there's treasure in there, so who knows? We'll push on. Yeah, we got down to the bay on the south and went looking for a cave and found a cave. Don't know if it's the cave. Thinking this could be it. It's a nice sized cave. We're in the right spot, on the right island. Where would I hide treasure? Oh, something gleaming caught my eye. Oh, it is Blackjack's cave. He's left us some beers here. Been sitting here for 130 years and they're still at 6 degrees. You're guilty. Here's Blackjack. Oh, I feel like I've earned this. Still cold. Unbelievable. Guess it must be the subterraneous temperature in here, I don't know. They're frosty. Do you want one? Now it's just such a beautiful, serene place, whereas back then it was violent and lawless and murderous, all sorts of things. What an awesome way to spend the day. Arr, arr.